The raise to us was a surprise. Now he's on Sky?
Oh yeah, believer after seeing that performance at a Chronicle,
this
perhaps.
Is that why I'm viewing right now? Did they make it here after all, Mitch?
I don't think so. I'm sorry. Shout out.
They got CIS IGL. I'm just saying.
Well, you never know. You never know. Well, as we come into this one, map number 2, KRÜ down by 1, but this is their pick, and it started out well. Kesnet taking down Nats, dealing heavy damage onto Redgar. And there's still 1:10 on the clock. Plenty of time for this attacking side of KRÜ to make a choice.
They've already managed to isolate Nats. That was one of the things that I think X10 did incredibly well, was just picking him off and not allowing those A-site stacks to really work out.
He wants to duel pretty soon. That armor's about to disappear. He's about to lose his overheal. And indeed, it will go down back to 100.
They're buying quite a lot of time. This is going to end up as an A-side push, and in terms of utility, in terms of stars, there's not a whole lot left for Redguard to play with. In fact, he's just tried to retrieve one, but whether it'll be available in time will be a completely different story altogether, as they're going to look to try and pressure him. He's still in the same spot, but they haven't actually spotted him. Finally, will be cleared out. In fact, so will the majority of the team. Chronicle had a fantastic first map, but good luck, bud.
Yeah, it's going to have to be the 1v4, and he's already been spotted on his way through heaven. I'll be ready to face him together. Nags down below, waiting for contact to one of his teammates, and they'll just triple peek into this. Little shock dart to push him back. I mean, look, you got low HP on some of these players, but it's going to be hard to find that value. Going to connect those headshots almost instantly.
Going to try and take that mid control away from them. They can't really do that so much because, well, he's not got that dash ability to get him out of dodge.
Tefo's ready to take this duel around the corner. They've already tapped the orb. He wants to hear the second tap. He wants to hear them making some... Oh, in fact, they took it completely. I thought the flash would have come around the corner by then. This is a strange stack out of Gambit to not execute after they've heard the noise, but that'll almost bait KRÜ in to committing to this. As time goes on, eventually someone's got to take a step forward. But in fact, they go backwards. KRÜ give up this control, pick up the spike, and start to move towards this B side.
Clearly got the right read here, and Chronicle does currently have his dart available. Like, if he could get the information now, maybe there's a chance they could try and run all the way back, but he has nothing, and because they don't have any mid control, it becomes very difficult. Now, Kesnet is definitely dead, so at least going to be something for them to fight with, but realistically, I don't know how much of a difference it's going to make here.
Yeah, I mean, that was a plan. If anything, they knew Kesnet was probably going to die. He went aggressive. He made the noise. The whole idea behind that being like, they had a suspicion something was wrong. Something was freaky on the A site. So eventually, they rotate around. Kesnet makes the noise, and they go, okay, yeah, it is a stack here. B should be free. Walk in, take the kill with the shock dart. Still comes down to a 3v2, though, and this is where they really can't afford to lose any more players. It's something to play with, especially because he can heal himself up or dismiss. You're going to be playing aggressive. You're going to be one of the first players around the corners taking these duels. Got inside the smoke just to confirm there's no one up close. Yeah, oh, okay, Shados is though, and he'll still get away with 2 walking through the cloudburst. He's even starting to creep up towards them in the alleyway, and I'm back.
And they made me look like a fool. Still going to say it again, Mitch. They are incredibly strong on the defense.
You had to do it again, didn't you? Man, every time I turn around and just look at Redgar, his posture scares me.
He's just going to start growing. He'll get bigger and bigger.
It's like, man, it is chiropractors making bang. Every event, he's probably got to go.
It's aggressive. This is very aggressive. Shados pushing all the way deep, but they can just take control of this. This is one of the main benefits of having that Sage, is you can just lock off parts of the map. For now, though, KRÜ, slow and methodical. They've got a lot of map control. They managed to push their way up short, but there's still so much information here for Gambit because of the fact that they've moved up to having a couple of initiators, and then they have the Cypher Cam of Nats as well, just spotting if anybody does make a move up short. So it may seem like, oh wow, Gambit are really passive here. They know a lot more than you think.
There's so much utility defense. Yeah, the fact that they've got these Astral Stars, the fact that they have their camera there. The Hunter's Fury's finding nothing. In goes Redgar, and down he goes right away. Kesnet with another opening duel, and it looks like KRÜ are having a pretty easy time over this A site. I don't know that Defo can really do anything from here. Maybe a spam through the floor. They'll hope to find their target, but missing the mark. KRÜ of a 4v3 post plant.
Yeah, Fantastic entries, maybe a little bit of over-aggression from Redgar. A bit surprised, especially as he's normally the one to try and delay with the stars. The fact is, though, the after-plant positions are looking strong from KRÜ. There is a lot of work for Gambit still to do.
They know there's a player close, the flash connected, good return, Defo on a triple. And sure, Shados will fall to the Nano Swarm, but they know where Mazzino is now. Oh, but KRÜ have shown to be just the same. At this start, Redgar's getting aggressive. He's been spotted. Oh my god, he's in a lot of trouble. But somehow the utility is keeping them at bay. There's still another star up above for him to use. He has really planned this one out on the early aggression through A, but now they've seen no contact. They start to suspect that maybe KRÜ have rotated and started to look for control elsewhere after such a heavy stack. But just playing that waiting game, KRÜ have now found themselves the control over A.
This is almost like delay tactics coming out from Gambit. They've got so much utility to play with that they can afford to almost burn a bit of it in the early stages of the round. The problem now, though, is that lockdown. It's going to hold them back at least for a moment. Look at Redgar. He's tried to push through. They were ready for it. They don't actually manage to get the opener either. And the remaining players haven't actually moved. They're, in fact, all within the site, just waiting for the push to come in. Still, though, the entry goes the way of Delzik. The trade not quite there just yet. And, well, for the attackers, they have to fall back. There's nothing here for them anymore.
They've realized that there were two players there, but Gambit make the very quick read. They know that that's what KRÜ are likely to do, so they run back over, cover their mid-push, make sure they can't get through market or B main, but the problem is KRÜ double faked it. They've waited it out, and with 20 seconds or so left on the clock, they're going to be blitzing into A completely open.
There are players moving back, though. And the cross was being held, but actually Defo's moved away. The dart is going to give away the game. They will know that there's players already within the site. The spike being planted, well, it doubles down on what they were thinking. And now they're waiting for the rotation of Nats to come back through.
That's going to be a really tough one. Yeah, KRÜ have just got all the nooks and crannies occupied. As Gambit look to drop on out of heaven, they'll be in a lot of trouble. With the time ticking away, they need to make a move. They need to start covering off these positions. The camera spots one down below, doesn't grab the tag. Kesnet getting aggressive, dismissing after another connection by Mazzino, and it's all left to Chronicle. 16.
Solid once again.
Yeah, really and truly. The discipline on some of these duels, they even leave themselves open knowing that they'll be traded when they have that like 3v2 position, because hey, if you get this kill, it doesn't really matter. Now Gambit going back to what they did before, stacked up inside of A main, waiting to push through, but KRÜ have been so cautious on these low buy rounds. I am thoroughly impressed. This is something that the majority of top teams don't even do. How many times, Tom, do we see these pistols gain massive value because teams blindly run into map control and end up getting overwhelmed? But time and time again, KRÜ are leaving at most one player, but actually, hold on, Mazzino's got the spike.
That
shouldn't have said anything.
Was perfect. They've got the res as well. Weaponry has been collected, and the Mitchman curse looks to come through this time for KRÜ, as they have got so much control at the moment. This hasn't even become a battle for the site anymore. This becomes a battle for the rest of it. And that cam has actually spotted the player, or at least it should have done. It becomes a bit of an awkward battle, and actually, Nax is somewhat losing it. He has taken a fair amount of damage. They've got utility to try and pull them out of position, which will work out, and at least make this one look possible. But with Shados taken off the head of Delzik, both the remaining players so desperately low, surely there's no way KRÜ bring this back.
Klaus does his best with the turret to find the info, but as Nags falls and 20 HP remaining on Klaus, looks like a strong breeze will take him down. Don't think we're getting away with much here, and nor does he, as he backs off to save this rifle.
10 seconds left.
Looks like if he keeps going, he'll get away with it, but he's about to take a face.
One round where Gambit really didn't invest anything. It was just a few pieces of utility and some sheriffs. Now you look at what the other team have, well, it's exactly that.
It's the ability to do damage in a lot of those earlier rounds. Oh, that flash is so good! Redgar has conditioned them. He's put those smokes down again and again. This time, he fakes it. He recalls the star, swings on a flash, and gets the kill. Great tag out of Chronicle, even without an Odin. That's an easy wall bang. And a 5 versus 3 emerges. KRÜ didn't come into this round with heavy weaponry, but I'm going to hope that Kesnet's able to do something with that Guardian they invested into. Oh, well, he's almost the last man alive.
One enemy remaining.
Incredible start, thanks to that eco round out of Gambit.
Take flight.
Defo as well, I have to say, like, for someone, as said, for months now, has just been playing Jet, goes back onto this guy, incredible stuff, and he's going to win the duel versus Kesnit. This aggression that was so successful in some of the early rounds from the Reyna has ended up being a little bit of a burden, unable to find anything, but KRÜ will respond. Bring it back into a 4v4 scenario, and you can see instantly, KRÜ just slow it down.
They absolutely do. Slowing the pace, grouping up. Going to be a 2-2 push into the A site, main and short. They haven't spotted Redguard crossover, but they'll have an idea that he could be here, and now they've spotted him indeed. This is going to be tough for him to even get out of here. He's getting aggressive. He's trying to take the duels, but he'll be caught on the retreat. With that opening, they're going to pick up the pace, run in towards the side, and if Defo doesn't have something huge to show, there's a first, but that's all he'll get. KRÜ with the advantage, and their post plans have been strong thus far.
Yeah, they have the ultimates for it as well. Like a Hunter's Fury and a post plant, we know how impactful that can be. They've also got one or two more to spare. The Cosmic Divide, I don't know if it'll be utilized here. I'm a little bit wary though that Delzik is incredibly low on HP. A well-placed spam could be enough to end him, but there needs to be something, and fast, from the side of Gambit as they look to try and encroach on the space of their enemies again. KRÜ and these afterplants have been stellar, and for the side of Shados, he's just going to keep the gun.
Nobody gets over.
Normally is a hugely impactful player on this weapon. He can't escape as easily.
Who cares about the operator, man? We get the Odin from Chronicle. Let's go, baby. Early spams. Deep recon actually gets
That's why I care about the operator, man.
Yeah, all right, okay. It is what it is. Nice little return by Nats as well. So Defo not only gets the opening, but then Trailblazers to stun the player and allow Nats to come out of that corner and catch another. They were trying to punish the operator, but they weren't expecting him to have a bodyguard.
And with the shutters already closed, they are watching this. They are ready. Any surprise that Kesnit tries to throw at them is just being watched for. A well-constructed round by Gambit, knowing exactly where the holes in their defense currently are, and only two players remaining. It's not far away. Mitch getting a little bit too excited. You know, he didn't lose that much HP, and instead, well, yeah, he should stand a chance at this point, but he still survives. Oh, he's still standing. I mean, lucky man. Not many players stand on the other side of a wall from Chronicle with an Odin, get revealed, and walk away to tell the tale, but it's only a matter of time, and eventually he'll be taken down. That Odin coming up big in this round. I have to say, though, this is...
30 seconds
Okay, let's give Mazzino a moment. 30 seconds. 1 versus 4, 70 HP, and 2 kills to his name.
He's on at the moment.
Yeah, but the time's going to be a real issue. He's sprinting to the A side, and there's no resistance there. Gambit are going to group up and try to retake this together. Now, a lot of problems for them, for Mazzino, rather. The Recon's back online now. It just came back. That's going to give them the Odin wallbang ability. And with 70 HP, that is actually very, very dangerous. Typically, that Recon's going to go towards lower, and they've even spotted him now. They know exactly where he is, and they're just dropping, finishing him off after the flash. Well,
his utility, that kill there as well.
Y'all really going to push into this? Up against an Odin, Hunter's Fury active, trying to hunt him down, but he's actually swapped position. Chronicle playing over towards Market, and Defo's the one on site. He's in a lot of trouble, though. Getting out of here is practically impossible. He still comes out with another kill, eliminating Delzik, taking the smokes out of the equation, and the retake. Chronicle has got his drone, he's got an Odin, and a Hunter's Fury to play with. He's being covered up close by Nats, who spotted an exit. Lockdown, that's going to be a little bit of a thorn in the side. What's even worse than that is the player inside of main catching them off guard on the side angle. Redguard went down to Chronicle's Hunter's Fury, and now it's a 1v2. This is a disaster for Gambit. A clutch needed from Nats, and time is not really on his side. Those players safely behind some cover so they can't be wall banged down, and they know exactly where he is, Tom. It's going to be so hard to spot Nags on top of the boxes at the bottom of the stairs. He's just going to get killed, so he had to move to the left. It is just a severely unlucky situation. Oh, you are horrible people. They have walled themselves up to get that angle, but luckily it was spotted immediately by the drone.
Yeah, somebody's been watching some grim clips here and there. Just stealing that one. I think I've definitely seen Ethan do that before as well, but expected, it seems. They managed to clear that fairly early on, and KRÜ now with 6 already on the board, and this time they shut Defo down. As said, he's been one of the high-impact players thus far for Gambit. Getting him out of the round for Nags is huge. How do they respond? And again, we're just seeing this much slower, calculated sort of attempt from KRÜ, as they now wait back for any further aggression, and it is moving in their direction.
Well, you know what? They've just cleared out B main. That recon giving them complete control. Now it's going to be a little bit more difficult. Gambit are expecting the A hit. Look at where Nats is. This is not a great position. Sometimes your shoulder gets spotted. That's why he goes out a little bit wider. Ready for this smoke to fade, and the shot connected by Kesnin instantly. They don't spot anybody else. Oh, I thought Redgar was lining them up for the spray down, but Kesnin does such a good job stopping it from going too far and leaving Gambit into a 2v4 retake. And what have we said, Tom? KRÜ's post plans have been solid. I think that's why we see Gambit immediately go, hey, let's save this one. We're not going for it.
This one was far more calculated than I think any of the other rounds we've seen from KRÜ. Patient for any sort of aggression. The second that they get that opener, they instantly wait for the response. They know that somebody's going to try and find the trade. They know that there's going to be some almost instantly. So the fact that they're currently in the lead, it's been going incredibly well. Again, this slow, tempered pace coming out from KRÜ, just waiting for somebody to try and push them, especially with some of the rounds they've lost against weaker economy. It has been those A-site pushes, and you can see they're just watching for it this time.
Chronicle's peeking out on the corner with this Odin, holding a lot of information. Obviously, they put their slow orb and their shock dart down at the very start just to stop any sort of B aggression, deal damage. If they can, delaying their utility enough that they have maximum information out of it. But the problem for Gambit here, they haven't spotted anybody, and now they're left in a void. Every single angle could have a player coming around it. That's why they drone B. See nobody there. Start the early rotation as Shados comes into A, and I think he's going to be here just in time for KRÜ's push.
They have got this read spot on. There are, I'd say that. They start hesitating a little bit. Push coming through. Nags looking to try and find the opener, but he gets caught by Redgar pushing. Now, he didn't have one of the major weapons, so this risk is worth it. Nats, he's just got straight through! Managing to find a couple, but the trades are good. Leaving it to have the smoke and dash strategy that we normally see from a lot of teams on this map. Something so commonly utilized. Now, the shock dart has already managed to take out some of the utility. Now, there will still be the turret there, but in fact, Chronicle has just taken the head clean off of Klaus. Now, bear in mind, we saw this at the last half. Both teams winning the pistol on either side of the map. Is it going to be another attempt from Gambit?
Well, they'll certainly try it. That drone is so well timed. It hasn't. Oh, okay, it's turned around.
Hello.
All good. They've seen him. He's going to be tagged on the way back, and Nag's now stuck in the corner. No dash to play with. Shock darts coming in. He's 30 HP right now, just dodging blind fire through smoke. Stelzik tries to come in and help and catch them off guard, but they'd already switched direction, fallen back and held short. Left now into a 5v1.
Here we go
Nags
again.
Eventually meeting his demise.
1v5, round 2. We saw this in the second pistol last time. Kesnin this time, I feel like the agent he has might actually help him out a little bit more. No longer on the Cypher. Now they're all going to be watching for this. He'd need some pretty incredible shots and already tagged desperately low. Of course, a single kill would benefit him at least a little bit, but chance is slim. That is gross. He's even going to get the heal off of it. Nobody peeking in an attempt for the trade. They want to keep this. So there you go.
Certainly at this event.
Yeah, for sure. It might have been even, but whatever. It's going to be that push through. Now, decent couple of players just waiting. I'm also seeing a shorty in there for Nags, although I would be surprised if it plays any part in this round, just considering his current position.
Do you know what I really like? Gambit, when they peek those corners, like Nats just came around, got tagged by the turret, and he just keeps clearing. The turret doesn't exist in his mind. The second guy around is the one to destroy it, because you don't want your crosshair to be pulled off, much like the Reyna Lear. If you flick to it and start shooting and the guy swings around the corner, you're dead. Instead, let your teammate handle it and you focus on the fight that could potentially be on hand. Kesnin's not having a great start here, down to 22. Of course, he can heal up if he does kill anyone, and he can one-shot headshot from 30 meters, so not the end of the world, but certainly not the start you wanted for KRÜ.
They're just baiting them in. This is exactly the same as the pistol. Like, a lot of the problems of the composition that's there for KRÜ is because you have this double duelist, you have to be aggressive. Now, obviously, in this sort of round, it's going to be more so than any other, because you are just playing with pistols, and realistically, you want to try and get yourself a stack. Now, I said this wouldn't play a part, but they have actually come back in this direction. Again, we're going to see them slowly clearing out these angles, and this could be a bit of a problem. Not going to get anything for it. A lot of damage onto Chronicle. Maybe they can trade that out, but having, well, something we never really talk about that much anymore, having a double healer. So they're going to be able to get him right back up.
True. Yeah, it actually does help quite a bit. Seeing those pistols, you don't typically even expect that heal to be bought up, but I think Gambit had it. This is, I mean, for KRÜ, drop a few weapons. That's the name of the game, the objective. Play the exits. The problem is that where Gambit are likely to exit is towards their own spawn, and KRÜ have no foothold there, so they'll wait for these players to start making a move off the site and try to catch them on these incremental peaks, and they've at least found the one.
Okay.
Considering he's got a classic, Mazino's done well to even get that.
Yeah, no, that was just almost a straight up 1v.
Gambit off guard. He does spray right away though, and because he's not catching anyone off guard. Oh my god, they're trying to spray back through. You absolute psychos. They're using the Sheriff and tagging him up as well, but he's not deterred. He still wants to fight. The recon primed and ready, and now things get dangerous. Luckily, Gambit destroyed instantly.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of this, again, is the same as what we saw in the last round, is almost faking control. The thing is, the drone will actually clear a lot of that space out. So everything they almost set up in this round was that, okay, we've taken all of this control, but then it's been spotted by the opposition that they've given it up again. However, Redgar is in the same spot. Now, if we see someone push B and die to Redgar again, I'm going to be pretty upset.
That's a oh no! This is a great start for Nags, but with Nats falling, I mean, that's the one player you probably don't mind really losing in a round like this. Having all these other agents alive, and now a 4v4, the Odin not great in that kind of fight. It's not really what you want to be facing in a round like this, but it's damn good at breaking walls, so they've got to cross over against it. Delzic's here to help, and they are doing the damage, and completely shutting down Gambit's attack. The spike on the floor, Mazino just keeps on going with that big gun in hand. He's down to 7 HP, but I don't think he's going to get punished. Redgar, the last alive, Bulldog in hand, and well,
designed it himself.
I'll tell you what, I feel like I might GLing both of these teams right now. This is exactly what I want to see. I like that grab wall into double shock, or sorry, the double bounce shock dart. And yeah, Mazino gets more than he bargained for there. He's gonna just about get it up. Oh, this is dangerous. The drone goes up above. It gets the tag, and that completely forces them out of main. The sprays back and forth, not yet meeting any demise for either player. The recon reveals him, he falls back, and now here he comes yet again, tagged up to 25. Now things get very dangerous. Mazino has to be careful.
This is like nearly the first minute of the round. It's just been Odin spamming through walls, and the fact is the defenders haven't just been sitting there. They've also claimed some control. A last bullet shot and a spike in a pretty awkward position. I don't think the defense can really fight for it because it just wouldn't be worthwhile, but it is something that wastes more time, and KRÜ have wasted a lot of time in this round.
It's especially bad because Chronicle was the one going back for it with the Odin, so it's really tough to move quickly with that because you need so much setup time if you're going to take a ranged fight like that. And even if you are set up, you're probably going to lose that ranged fight, especially if it's Nags firing off the way that he is. That's the man advantage now for KRÜ to play with, and only 30 seconds left on the clock. Still a lot of Astra Stars waiting for them on A.
They've got 2 stars. Now they're going to clear this position, but not properly. 20 seconds left. He's going to look to try and play within the smoke, and Delzic shuts down 2 with the headshots. There is nothing that can be done here for Shados. He's going to go up above, and they're going to spam out. Unless you're going to pop a random Hunter's Fury and get yourself a couple of kills, I feel like there's very little chance of Gambit stealing this one away.
Hear the rumble of the Odin in the distance, spraying away and keeping them out of B main for the time being, but there's nothing to stop them going into middle. Starting to make their way up through here. Market door closed, very conscious that they've given up that control. KRÜ will allow their opponents to have it spraying through every now and then just to keep them at bay, and it's going to be a slow push into B main as well. Coming out,
that was a double tag.
Redgar.
the lineup collat coming out from the drone, giving them so much information that there's 2 players currently pushed down mid. And you can see that Klaus realizes if he manages to get main control of B, again, this round almost just becomes over, especially with the position currently of Mazino. They don't actually manage to catch out the dart as well. He's doing so well just to delay them as much as possible with utility, and even manages to escape. He's got to be careful because they are looking to try and hunt him down, but with so many bullets, so many opportunities, it's just cleaning them up.
Yeah, absolutely farming those frags, and as they walk out of those,
no, it's
get
coming.
Some Coldamenta.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah, Coldamenta. This recon's a little dangerous for Nags. He was blinded up, so he can't destroy it. He's now being spotted. Time to use that dash up, and great early utility coming out of Gambit. Just a burrow. Oh no, Nags, run for your life. Whew, that was dangerous.
think they've realized as well that they can get mid control relatively easy. And considering how things have been going with that Odin on B, I'm not surprised that they're starting to avoid it. The thing that's been a bit weird for me so far is that Gambit put little to no pressure on A at all.
39 HP.
We haven't seen them go up short. We haven't even really seen them challenge just for main at all. So look how much control again is there.
Oh, if they get tagged by that recon, it's all over for them. But luckily they won't. 39 health was left on Defo after just a spam from a Phantom. Thanks to that drone, Mazzino is having one hell of a game, honestly. His utility has been on point thus far. Another tag coming through as Nats hits 30. And they are really being deterred from pushing this B site. They'll change it up, but they're walking right into Nags, who's having one hell of a map over on the previous. Yet to really reach that form again, and this drone, it hasn't spotted him. He's managed to sneak his way in. The spam gives it away, and he'll just back off now. Oh, he actually can't make it through.
Oh, they know Delzik is there. They know he's hiding in the smoke and almost try and bait it out. Redgar should have this timing on point. Clearing him is going to be so important. In fact, he's pushing back in, and he's still managing to get kills. The timing eventually works in his favor, and it's traded out into the 1 versus 1. A chance here, and the plant is not in the best of spots now. Trying to remind me of old Gambit attacks that just seem a little bit baseless. It's been a B attempt almost every single round. There's been no pressure put on A. Like, you see how long Delzik is already here. Yeah. He's already just taken that control because he hasn't had to fight for it in the entirety of the map. In fact, he did so much damage even in the last round just by keeping that position held. It makes things so much easier for the rest of the players to actually push out. This time, again, who's surprised? They're going mid.
Yeah, Gambit really running out of ideas here by the looks of it. Round on round, the same spot is pushed, and success has been nowhere in sight. Close shock into the pink. The SMG's trying to lead the charge around these corners, but it's all just pressure. They look to move back to the A site. They've had Redgar holding this for most of the round, so they know that nobody is at least pushed up on A, that the info isn't there to play with. Redgar takes a step back, pops down a smoke. They'll pressure short.
Gambit do have some ults in this round that they could look to try and use to give them an opportunity. They faked this in a little bit to A and did actually manage to pull a couple of rotations. This leaves things a little bit vulnerable, but bypassing through into this B site is going to be very difficult, especially again with Mazzino just popping. 4 kills already. Redgar left as the late lurk coming through B. Mazzino, he wants this ace. He wants to close this out single-handedly, and as he runs...
Getting loud in Gambit's faces, and now they have 5 opportunities to bring us to map 3.
And you can see as well that Mazzino is getting more and more confident as the rounds go by, and why not? Shock Dart Shados is down to 5. That almost killed him off. Was that double damage?
I'm not sure, but I'll tell you what. If he goes down, they lose the res. That is a big, big scalp to take right away. They came so damn close to doing it, but Gambit will survive into the late round. 1:10 on the clock. The attackers have been short on ideas. It's been constantly mid to B. They've tried to throw in fakes, but so far they have found it impossible to crack the code as KRÜ continue to have an iron defense.
Yeah, and I do worry that it might just be that lack of a true entry. Not having that. This is why we don't really see no duelist comps, because it becomes very difficult to actually find a way into the site if your initial bait ideas and your utility is not really working out for you. There's no brute force option for Gambit. And again, we're seeing these slow takes, 35 seconds. As of right now, they have mid.
Yeah, and even then, it's contested quite heavily. Kesnet gonna just dismiss out of there. A little jump to make sure he catches it. Rez coming through. Does Kesnet want to get aggressive on this? Yes, he does! And he's not quite gonna catch them, but he's slowing them down. He's harassing them in the back lines. 20 seconds left as they make their way forward. Up goes Nags. No knives connecting. Klaus, though, going huge. The Nano keeping them back, and this is